Hey everyone, welcome to another week of the Student Centered World podcast, where this week it might be a little bit heavy, but it was something that I really wanted to get out to everybody. As teachers, we like to be in control. We like to know what's happening. We like to know what the plan is. We like to know what the plan is long distance, and we like to execute that plan the way that it works in our head. But right now, we're having a really tough time doing that and we're having a really tough time dealing with that. So I wanted to take some time today to chat about what you can do when you just can't control things.
Welcome to the Student Centered World podcast, where we talk about all things hands-on teaching and keeping your energy and sanity in the classroom. This teacher turned consultant is making it her mission to help as many teachers as possible become the best version of themselves and keep their passion for teaching on fire. It's her hope that we never forget why we desire to have a passion for educational progress. This is Student Centered World, and this is Jen Bry Soccer.
Hey guys, so today's message, I had something else planned a little bit, but just sort of the day that I'm having, I feel like this is the conversation that we need to have today. And it might hit some of you in the feels, so prepare yourself. We are living in a time right now where we are in a constant state of uncontrollability. I don't even know if that's a word, but today it is. We have no idea what is going to happen from one moment to the next. And as teachers, I feel like a lot of us are having the biggest problem with that. I'm not saying that we're control freaks. I just realized that's what I made it sound. I mean, some of us are. But it's really, really hard when you know that you have other lives depending on you to not have a clue what is going to happen tomorrow to determine what your plan is going to be. So I've been saying all along, like for months and months now, that you can only do what you can do. There's just no other way of looking at it than that. If you can sit down in the evening and hang your hat on your day and say that you did the best that you could, even if you felt like you came up short, then that's all that you can do. All that we can do right now is be as prepared as we possibly can be and know that no matter what we do, it might not be enough. It might change in a moment's notice, or it might just drag on us mentally or physically. At any given point, what we are planning to do might not matter. It might switch. And obviously, as I've been saying every single day, that's one of the reasons that you must prepare for blended learning, because you can do it in the classroom. You can do it if you're hybrid. You could do it if you are 100% digital. You can't do 100% digital in the classroom without making sure you have this and that. You can't do the stuff that you do in the classroom digitally. We found that out in the spring. So it's the best way that you can be prepared, because you might have to tweak things here and there, but you can still roll with it. And I had mentioned before, the teachers that I had worked with prior to the pandemic said that doing distance learning was not a difficult transition for them, because they just made a couple of tweaks and it was almost business as usual for their classes. Their kids were already, I'd hate to say for a lack of a better word, trained, but you know how it is. They knew what they needed to do and they were just doing it in a different venue. So it's something to keep in mind. As for me, I woke up in my own head today, which I have a feeling is something that is probably happening to a lot of you. You know, I've been talking over and over again. If you haven't been following me for a long time, when the pandemic first started in March, I created our mastermind group on Facebook, and we just dove head in on what can we train each other on, what apps can we use, what programs can we have, and we created this community to try to get through the school year together. And then once I developed the blended learning series, which is more apt for what Student Centered World does, we kind of kept transitioning with that. So I've been working 7 days a week since March.
I've taken off a couple of days here and there, but that's it.
As you know, if you're a parent, that's hard. And I have been preaching all this time of, oh, we have these silver linings of everybody's going to, we're able to slow down and we're not living the rat race of running from here to there, which is true. But this morning I woke up thinking I've been working all this time and I had this opportunity to be with my kids. And though I was still working so much and got into my own head with that. Your mind, you go down these rabbit holes. So it's a lot of things all at once. And even though it's not necessarily what you guys are going to be grappling with in the classroom with your students, it's still a rabbit hole that if you haven't fallen down yet, you might. And that's okay. It's okay to not be okay right now. You just need to know that you're doing the best that you can. And if some days that's just making it through, that's okay. If it means that you need to, veer from your curriculum for a little bit because you need to work a little bit more with your kids on some SEL, that's okay. We are in a time where we need to just make sure that everybody's okay and to do the best that we can. That's all we can do is the best that we can. So if you get lost in your own thoughts, in your own head, and you start panicking and all that, I feel like it's natural right now because as teachers, we have this, I don't want to say control issues. I keep coming to that, but don't take it as that. But we're planners, and we know that on Friday we're going to be doing this, this, and this, and next week we're scheduled to do this, this, and this, and knowing that all of that can change like that is scary, and it's a lot, and it's okay if you're struggling with that. You can't bury your head in the sand. You can't pretend it's not happening, but you need to make sure that you're taking care of your mental health and that you are just preparing the best that you can and that you are just doing the best that you can with what you have. And there's really nothing else to add to that. You're going to have some days that seem like they're great, and you're going to have some days that seem like they're not. And if you have a bad day, tomorrow is a new one. Your worth as a teacher is not going to be determined on a couple of bad days. It's going to be how you rally back from those days, how you think outside the box, how you find ways to cope and to manage and to make it work. And it's those times that are going to show who you are as a teacher, and that you are able to come forward from that, and you are able to grow and to learn. We can't teach our children that it's okay to fail if they're learning from it if we don't embrace that ourselves. So that is the message that I want to leave you with today. I told you it was kind of heavy. I apologize for that, but I feel like it was a message from the universe to get that out to you today. So if you were a person that needed to hear that, hopefully that helped. If you haven't needed to hear that yet, you can always come back to this on a day where you do. So on that note, enjoy the rest of your day.
If there's anything I could do for you, as always, admin@studentcenteredworld.com. You can reach me on Instagram @studentcenteredworld, Facebook @studentcenteredworld, and of course in our Facebook mastermind group, which if you search for Student Centered World Mastermind will pop right up. But enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you next Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.